I wish that everybody knew how involved the Y was, especially in supporting things like the civil rights movement, and like supporting civil rights leaders who grew up in and around YMCA's. A lot of what they're known for is like being a gym or like fitness or like sports programs, but there's a lot more that I even didn't know um, about what the YMCA has done to support communities in need and being kind of a stepping off point for movements, like being a place for sit-ins and organizing and other things. I never knew how involved the YMCA was in like general relief efforts, kind of like I just mentioned, rather than just the fellowship aspect or in regards to like sports. I had no idea that like YMCA volunteers went overseas in World War One, World War Two, supported soldiers during the Civil War, even because I also didn't know exactly how old the YMCA was. Um, but they like going overseas, feeding soldiers, making them candy and other sweets that they wouldn't have over there, building kitchens and factories to get soldiers things, and like even though it was contentious with the soldiers, like selling them cigarettes, which is something that was hard to come by at that point, and probably was a little bit of a morale boost, especially like the candy and the sweets and stuff, to have a little bit of something from home or something nicer than just what they were getting on base or in the front lines or wherever they were stationed. Um, I'm inspired by this documentary to kind of look into current programs and efforts being done by my local YMCA, um, which would be like Muskegon, which doesn't have a traditional building anymore. I think they sold it almost 10 years ago now, which I didn't know. But they have they have like a home base, I guess, and they work with different community partners. And they have quite a lot of programs, kind of supporting the downtown area. And like, if you know Muskegon, especially certain parts of it have had definitely had some ups and downs. So having those programs in there and working with different community partners that I know are working on other aspects of like community relief um, is really nice. And I want to see kind of what they're up to and if I could help support any of that. I do think that the YMCA is living up to the vision that George Williams had. They mentioned in the video that the YMCA, which this might be different now, but at least when the video came out, it's the largest childcare organization in the U.S. It provides a lot of after school programs, regular childcare that parents might depend on, and that they might need, and that keep kids involved in good things for them. And they mentioned this a little bit with the swimming pools. I knew how to swim prior to this happening, but in third grade, my school took all of us like every other week on Fridays to like swimming school, and a bunch of my friends learned how to swim at the Y. I learned a lot about water safety in the Y because it was split half and half. When you weren't swimming, you're doing water safety. Um, I was in the deep end and learned a bunch of different strokes and how to tread water and keep myself safe when I was in the water, um, which is like a huge part of that health and supporting the community. And also, like, I know a bunch of the kids in my class probably wouldn't have learned how to swim if otherwise. They also use community partners in the YMCA to work on programs supporting youth like swimming school, like after school programs, but also adults, and in keeping in that like little triangle of like mind, body, and spirit. Just supporting people as whole persons. I would say I have a pretty positive opinion on the present day YMCA. I haven't been super involved since like third grade necessarily, um, just because it wasn't super close to where I live. Uh, but I know a lot of the stuff they do is good. It helps people stay active. It gives people a place to go exercise. It gives different other like classes. Like I think I've seen ones with like yoga classes, which is a good thing for your kind of your mind and your spirit. And I don't I can't really think of anything that I personally know of that has been like a huge scandal or like huge things that the YMCA has done or people in the YMCA have done that is super negative. I know even though they kind of still have that Christian values kind of thing in their mission and kind of they talk about those values a lot. I haven't really experienced any like or really seen any quote unquote discrimination um, on the basis of faith or really them strongly bringing in like Christian judgment rather than like values that are generally good, even though they do have that Christian tag attached to them. So, yeah.